I'm Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings, and you're watching the best sports coverage on News OK.
But you look at us, it's interesting. I always kind of go back and see where everybody's at because teams you're playing and where they at, total offense and defense, this, that, and the other thing. And our offense is up there with most everybody in the top half, I think, in most all categories. The one category we're poor at, you look at, we're at the bottom of the league in penalties. But as far as production and moving it, we've done that.
How does this defense stack up with the other defenses you've coached here?
Oh, it's definitely one of the better ones. You know, you'll never catch me say any particular one was the best one. So they're amongst, the one or two better ones that we've had. To this point, anyway, they need to play well this week and in the coming week to keep, to definitively be able to say that, but they sure to this point have been one of our best ones.
How much of that success comes from kind of the last little string last year where you guys go up against that unbelievable run of offenses and kind of shut every one of them down?
Well, there was a maturing process a year ago, and I think it's like anything. It's just gaining experience as you go, and they got better the more experience they gained and came back more experienced, of course, this year than we started a year ago. So it's been a neat group. Like I said, it's been one of our best. I would say maybe you're asking now. It's probably been our best as far as they're wanting to practice well and to really know. Barry asked me earlier in the year what makes a good defense, and I think intelligence. I mean, really, they're really smart. In other words, they see when an offense how they're trying to create gaps and how we need to cancel them. And some guys or some teams really. They go through practice and they get it, but these guys really want to get it, and really pay attention and ask questions, or even in the way they practice. They practice well, and so they have a real strong pride about them on really performing well. Then they know, they want to perform well in practice. So anyhow, it's real obvious to me it's a smart group that really understands well and pushes. Are probably our best that in the way they practice.
Can you find out before game day who's going to be officiating your game?
Yes.
You find out beforehand?
Yes, they usually send us a something early in the week.
Does the Big 12 have any in the off season? Can you request not to have certain officials?
No.
What do you remember most about that 05 game, Doug?
Oh, geez, quite a bit, but I'm not allowed to comment on officiating, but it's fair to say that's part of it. Yes.
You talking back on your defense, it seemed like when you asked the players why they're better, like Ryan Jackson said after the game, he said trust. He says he knows what the other guy's going to do. He doesn't have to worry whether he's going to do his job. Have you seen that or that?
And that's part of what I was saying, that they understand where they need to be at, their particular part of the structure and how we need to stop a play, and don't try and do too much. Trust the other guy to be where he's supposed to be, and then we're in good shape. So I think with the trust comes with they all know we're all on the same page. We've had very few mental breakdowns. A lot of times, or probably in our case, 9 out of the 10 times through the years, anytime we've given up a big play, usually it's because we busted something.
Coach, this may be kind of a dumb question, but most of mine are.
I wouldn't say that, Bob. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You searching for compliments? Or?
Yeah, that's it. Got a terrible compliment. It seems like that Coach Leach doesn't have the quarterback that he usually has, being the great proficiency he uses too. Has that changed in any way his offense?
All that thing I see different is he's using two of them instead of just one, and I think they both, Sheffield and Potts, do an excellent job. They're got good arms. You see all the familiar patterns and routes and spacing of the of the receivers and putting the ball to everybody. Like Mike does. So, so it looks very similar to me in how I watch him.
Well, Mike's put up great numbers over the years, but you probably defensed Tech as well as any team in the country. And this year you're defensing the spread as well as any defense in the country. Talk about what Oklahoma does to a certain extent against Mike and some things. And I know there's not a secret to it, but I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any secret to it. And every time you play someone, you have to do it again, or you have to make your adjustments and different wrinkles to try and play well. I think for the most part, we, with most spread teams through the years, have played pretty well because of our ability to line up and be athletic in space, can run, tackle in space, cover people in space, get to the quarterback, those kind of things, and tackle well in space or tackle well, at the line of scrimmage. And so, and then I think, Brent through this year and through the years always has, I always believe, a very strong structure to defend it. And, unfortunately, our players have, most of the time have really invested well in their preparation to be prepared to defend it.
Is Mike's offense unique in a spread in a way? I mean,
it is.
Their own pattern.
Mike's offense there at Tech is very unique in that than most spreads. I mean, everybody has their different ways they want to move the ball, but it's it's a definite different way than a lot of other spreads. And the only other one I know where it evolved from is Hal Mummy's running it somewhere. Where's Hal? Is that New Mexico, right? Mexico State, I believe. And but Hal, all those years at Kentucky, I could pull out my old Florida tapes and I see a lot of the same routes going on. So,
What would you? There are everybody got bowl projections now. Some have you playing Arizona. What would your thoughts be?
Nobody knows any of that. That's not.
What would your thoughts be if they said, "Okay, you're going to play Arizona"?
Yeah, we go play Arizona.
Would you like it?
That wouldn't matter. I mean,
Really? You wouldn't hate it?
what's to hate about it?
So, Stoops has to lose.
Yeah, in the regular season, that's not good. Once the season's over, you're in a bowl game, then someone got to win. Rather it be some type of championship game, but in the end, nobody knows that right now. So,
Would you be worried that Mike would just pull like 7 all-nighters and do everything in his power to make sure that he beat Big Brother?
he wouldn't do that anyway. Whoever he's playing, So,
You don't think he'd get more out of beating you than beating somebody at Alabama Tech or something?
no, nor would I.
Who used to win in the backyard?
Who
used to win in the backyard?
Oh, I always did. The older brother always wins, but once he matured and got to Iowa, he was the better one. He got too big for me then.
You anticipate?
So I quit messing with him by that time.
You anticipate getting Caleb back this week?
He was back last week, and he's practicing again this week. It's just getting, making sure he's up to full speed.
You like the new uniforms you guys will wear on Saturday?
Yeah, they'll be great.
Are they more difficult to tackle with? Are they built different? Is there anything like
Yeah,
that?
it's nearly impossible to No, I don't see it being any different.
Bob, is there any way we could get you in some throwbacks?
Yeah.
A fedora, a sport coat, and a narrow tie?
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would be the big coolest thing of all time.
We'll have to do that for the spring game, maybe. Joe, let's remember that. You got the hat? Joe has a fedora, that's right. All I have is a flat cap, I don't have that fedora. I don't think Bud wore one of those flat caps, so.
Bob, is there anything about Lubbock that makes it any more difficult to play than some of the other Big 12 sites?
Yeah, they usually have a good football team. I don't think so, but again, when you go to someone's place and they're good, they're a good team. It's harder to play there. Just for the most part, we played, like you said, we played pretty well here. And you go to most places who win a lot, they play well in their place. So I don't think there's anything magical about it.
What have you seen that they do so well getting to the quarterback?
Well, just good pressure. Good rush by their front four. I think they do a really good job getting push inside, so you have trouble stepping up. And, they good guys coming around the corner, and, they pick their times when they want to blitz.